If you wanna know, watch Daddy else. If you wanna show, he is the one that will inform you about all those jokers that are doing wrong. You cross the line and then it's on. Sometimes the other news don't get it right. They don't get it right. What Daddy does his homework every night. What's local news, world news, national news? He's gonna keep it tight. For the people he will fight.
And just when you thought it was safe, it is absolutely, positively not. And good afternoon to you, and welcome again to Steal the that Roku now says we are to be here with you, hoping that your day today has been simply marvelous, no matter what it is that you've been doing all day, whether you have been out working or whether you're one of the fortunate ones who can just sit back and take your leisure. Okay. I got someone texting me from way down in Longview, Texas. Where's Longview, Texas? There, you've been in Texas. Where's Longview, Texas?
I've been in Longview. I don't know what that is.
Let me tell them to go to Custom Pastor. Let's see. I'm gonna learn how to do this fast one day. It is just Custom Pastor. It ain't the Custom Pastor. All right. We are in the midst of election season, not just November 3rd and not just the presidential elections, but I always consider local politics, your state and your city politics even be more effective and more of a matter of concern than your national politics. One of the most heated and competitive races that's been going on in the local area is definitely State Senate seat District 90, held by the incumbent of 26 years, John Deberry. John has been there for 26 years, which means that he has been elected 13 consecutive times, and he's crunching on something. John in the whole, like he putting some ice in a glass.
Oh, I'm sorry.
John, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Now noise here.
Yeah, and these mics are sensitive. John, let's jump right on into the fray. This has been a very competitive race, and there's even more to come. Some say that there has been some ugly in it. But let's find out what all of this is about. And let's go from pastor and a state legislator.
Well, I guess that's we all have a story. My dad used to say, "You have a story, I have a story." All come and if I talk about my story, I have to go back to my parents, my great grandparents, my grandparents, and my parents. Three sets of parents that instilled in me over a period of a lifetime a set of values which which I still have to this day. My father was the president of the NAACP in Crockett County, where we moved when I was a child, and we integrated the schools. We did the whole process in the 60s to basically change that county with my father's leadership. My family raised money in 1963 so that my daddy could go to the March on Washington, and he was there, and I was there with him. And when Dr. King made his last speech here in Memphis, as I'm sure others were, and as a minister, I have been preaching almost every Sunday since I was 17 years old. And as a legislator, values with me. I have not compromised them or capitulated in any shape, form, or fashion. I try to do public policy that's based on the public interest, the public well-being, and that's one of the things that I have done consistently throughout my career. So I'm your neighbor, I'm your friend, I'm your brother, I suppose your enemy, your adversary, whatever it is that one might call himself in a community. But I'm part of this city, and I love it and have worked very hard for it for 26 years.
John, a very simple question, because some are questioning your partisanship. Some want to say that you are a Republican. What do you say to those who call you a Republican?
Well, when you hear that type of rhetoric, it's meant for one reason, and that is to distract people from the truth and divide us into various warring groups rather than bring us together. The fact of the matter is, in Nashville right now, you have a Republican super majority. We have 99 members of the House. Only 25 of those members are Democrats. You have 33 members of the Senate. You have only 5 of those members that are Democrats. So for folks to say, well, Representative Deberry votes with the Republicans, that's a misnomer. It makes no sense, because every Democrat that passes a bill has to have 27 Republicans to vote with them to pass a bill. Every senator that passes a bill has to have 17 Republicans to help them pass the bill. Nobody who comes from Memphis to Nashville is going to accomplish anything unless they learn to sit down at the table, build a consensus by working across the aisle. When you are a super minority, you have to work across the aisle, and every one of these folks who are calling me a Republican, you can't beat them running to the offices of Republicans in order to pass their bills. They vote with Republicans, and they get Republicans to vote with them. That's part of the process. So this idea that I'm a Republican that folks are throwing around right now is meant for one reason. If you don't have a record, if you don't have anything on the other guy, the one thing I have never done in 26 years of office, I have never sent out a negative piece. I have never done a negative radio or TV commercial against my opponent. I have simply allowed the people of District 90 for 13 times to decide if they want to re-elect me based on my...
John, 2 points here. First point is, are you saying, when we talk about the House and we talk about the Senate, and we find that Democrats in this red state are a super minority, are you saying that every individual, every senator, every House member must go to a Republican to get anything done to bring to their district?
Oh, absolutely. When you go, if the people of Memphis came to sit in the balcony and watch the proceedings on the floor on every bill, hear me, on every bill, go and play the tapes, go play the videotapes. You see Democrats standing up there skinning and grinning beside Republicans every day because they cannot get a bill passed without Republican help. So they stand with Republicans, they vote with Republicans, they vote to come back and trying to poison the water. As a John Deberry votes with the Republicans, every legislator up there that's a Democrat absolutely has to vote with Republicans and for Republicans so that they can vote with them and for them. It's just where the process is right now.
So you've been elected 13 consecutive times by the members of your community or your constituents. What do you think is the reason that John Deberry continuously wins? And you've had debate, even the person that you're running against right now ran against you 2 years ago. Your opponent right now ran against you. That the people of your district 13 consecutive times have elected you.
I think it's because the people of my district have demonstrated a sense of independence. They have demonstrated a sense of self-value and self-worth for their community. They know exactly where I stand on these social issues. They know exactly where I stand on abortion. They know exactly where I stand on other social issues and education issues. They've known it since 1995. What District 90 has done is demonstrated a diverse and independent way of thinking. We are Democrats, Republicans, black, white, rich, poor, the powerful, and those who are struggling. It's a diverse district, and they vote on the principles. They vote for me because they know what I stand for. And this is why they've elected me 13 consecutive times. All of this stuff that's being said now about me being a Republican, about me taking away women's elections, the people of District 90 agree more. I'm not saying they agree, but they are position. They may disagree with me on some issues, but one thing they do know, they are well represented in Nashville.
Well, when I look at your opponent's record, which is nothing, and he has no record of community service, he has no record of doing anything in the community, only came to Memphis in about 2011. I look at his record of nothingness. John, what is it that in 26 you sponsored? What is it that you've done as a state representative that the people of District 90 should say, we need to continue to have him in office?
The whole idea of having a representative pastor is the fact that 65,000 people can't go to Nashville. They have to send a representative to Nashville to stand for them and to fight for them and to vote for them, to listen to these bills. One of the things that folks don't realize, it's not always as a chair of a standing committee for 12 years. That means of the 17 standing committees of the House of Representatives, the District 90 representative held one of those spots as the chairman of Children and Family, rewriting children's laws, custody laws, abuse laws, the laws that made children's lives better. When you go to the law book, you see my name all through it because I presided over the rewriting of all of these laws that were hurting our children, from statutory rape to abuse, and all of these laws that I sat there and worked on for 12 years. The most comprehensive crime bill in decades. I passed that bill. I passed that bill fighting many of my colleagues and DAs and other people. But we passed that bill at a time when people were walking to the mailbox and getting shot. One of my friends was walking to the mailbox. Someone shot him in the stomach. He eventually died. Passed one of the most comprehensive rights in our history, accolades from law enforcement and from the public. I passed the racial profiling bill just a couple of years ago, where every law enforcement agency in the state of Tennessee has to have a program to combat racial profiling. I passed a bill just a year or so ago to where if someone steals your identity, that you can get a new driver's license. I came up with that idea. I had the bill written. I passed that bill. So you can go all brokenhearted because it was like the child didn't exist. I wrote a law to where she could get a certificate, not just throw that child away, but she could get a certificate to say that that child was born. It may have been born dead, but at least it existed 9 months within her body, and she had something to show for it. And if you go through my bills, my record consists a whole lot more than want to hang around my neck as some type of badge of disgrace. For 26 years, you see me working for the people of Memphis, Shelby County, and Tennessee.
Let's talk about those bills. Let's talk about the voucher program. It seems that his group is upset with you about vouchers. What's your view and your stance on that, John?
Well, it's nothing new. School choice, parental choice, is not a new issue with me. My beliefs and stand on parental choice goes all the way back to 1968 when my parents decided to integrate the schools and send us to a better school. It was not that our teachers weren't good teachers. They were. Or that they didn't work hard. They did. But the school had deficiencies that it didn't have programs and books and other things that we needed so that we would be able to compete in the real world. That's what we see happening right now. We have a schoolhouse to jailhouse pipeline.
Okay.
When we have children who go to school 12 years, do everything they're told to do, and then they come out of school reading on the 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade level. The poor teachers are doing the best they can, and many others are doing the best they can. We have programs and curriculums, and Lord have mercy, tests that is failing our children. Our children have been out of school for 7 months, and many of them will never catch up again in life. Guess what? The private and parochial schools are they're in school.
Mm-hmm.
What if a parent could make a choice? I don't want my child just sitting in front of a computer looking at videos, and then you give them a test like you have taught him when you really haven't. What if they could send them to one of those schools that are open right now? That's all the bill does. That is, think about it. You got a certain amount of money allocated for every child, about $12,500 if my memory serves me right. What that parent would get from an education scholarship that they would have, nobody forces it on them. That parent decides, I want my child to go to a different school. I'm a taxpayer, so I want part of that ADA money that is allotted to my child given to me so I can take them to a better school. Here's the deal. That parent can only get about $7,500, if my memory serves me right, of their money. The other part of their money stays in the school system. So you got one less child to educate, and you got part of their money, and that's a bad deal. Not speaking of the fact that the school system's money is not even touched by this program. Shelby County still gets their over $1 billion to educate 150,000 of their students. So the issue is not money. The issue is power. The issue is control. And the issue is keeping parents from being able to make education choices for their children. It's the poor children. It's the poor children who are stuck in these bad schools, and every one of us know it.
So why do you think it is, John, that your opponent is so anti the voucher program?
Because what happens is when you have those in authority from the various associations, what would everybody say? What would they say if the truck drivers union was controlling the money for the highways? What would they say if the electrical union was controlling the money for building codes? Everybody was screaming fraud and all types of stuff. But so how is it that another profession just happens to be teachers who we respect highly, but how does their union and association get the right to tell the taxpayer how to spend the education dollar? That's their money.
Okay.
The TEA and the MEA don't give that money. Taxpayers give that money. And so how is it you going to tell a taxpayer they don't have the right to have a portion of their tax dollar so they can send their child to a better school? Well, folks say, well, you're cherry picking. You're cherry picking. Guess what? Law schools cherry pick. Medical schools cherry pick. Teacher schools, education schools cherry pick. Engineering, everybody. The Army. Some children can't even pass a test to get in the Army. The Army cherry picks. Our problem is we're not putting enough cherries on the tree.
Okay.
That's our problem. We're not putting enough cherries on the tree. Why? Because our children are stuck in substandard schools over tests, and they are not ready for the real world. And none of us who know what's going on would say it different. We know that's what's happening.
Well, isn't it strange, though, John, that when we talk about this subject and we talk about the teachers being concerned about where the money is going, and we look at the privatization that is taking place in the school system, the line are no longer employees of the school system. The cafeteria workers or the janitors are no longer employees of the system like they used to be. The cafeteria workers no longer. So we're already.
For them to sit up and say, well, Representative Deberry wants to give the school system to private management. Lord have mercy. The only thing probably not in private management is the teacher. As you said, janitorial services and the schools are filthy. Cafeteria lady don't exist no more, and the children are given slop. The testing comes from probably somebody in New York. Every facet of education in Memphis and across this country is privatized to private vendors. Private vendors, from cleaning the building to cooking the food, everything is private. So to sit up here and say we're trying to give the school over to private management, good grief, we've already given it over to private management.
Okay.
And that's why the kids are suffering now.
So do you think from the standpoint of lawmakers in this state that there has been more interest and more emphasis placed on the money than the children?
The money is the only thing they talk about. If you go back and pull the tapes of these education meetings, money is all they talk about. Oh, you're taking money out of public education. You're taking money out of the public school. That is a ridiculous. The Tennessee, the education scholarship that we were doing in the state of Tennessee didn't touch the money that went to the public schools. There was a whole pot of money. Right now, think about it. And for your listeners, I want them to hear me well. We already do vouchers in the state of Tennessee. There are 2 voucher programs in the state of Tennessee right now. Number one, we just happen to call it the Hope Scholarship. A child gets taxpayer money and who they want to go to. They can go to a private. Lamar Owen is a private school.
Okay.
Lamar Owen is not a public school. It's a private school. Free Hardeman is a private school. Fisk is a private school. So the child can get taxpayer money right now and take it to a private school if they are so fortunate to be able to get out of our public school and pass an ACT test. And the second one, there's a voucher program that is running real good in Memphis, Shelby County, and across this state. You know, the money's supposed to follow the child. That's what they say they don't want to happen. They don't want the money to follow the child. But the money's following the children. You know where? To jail. We have a voucher program. They don't want the money to follow a child to a better school. But it's all right for the money to follow the child to jail. And that's what's happening in Memphis and Shelby County. And the parents need to get riled up about it. That we can have a voucher program for jail, but we can't have a voucher program for a better school.
The other issue that has brought a lot of controversy from your opponent is your view on abortion, the right to choose. What's your position, John?
Well, the fact of the matter is, and I was watching a news when I made that vote. I was watching some African American women on TV here in home. I was in Nashville. I made the vote. Oh man, they were raising a ruckus. How can a black man? How can a black man make such a vote? How can a black man in office? And you know, my thing is, how can a black man not vote for life? Don't people understand the origin of Planned Parenthood, the intent of Planned Parenthood, and the mission, the original mission of Planned Parenthood? All you got to do is go on the internet and do a little bit of study. How in the world can we be making all this noise about racism and the bastions of past inequities to black people and atrocities to black people and all of this stuff, taking down statues, and which I understand. So some folks are offended. We are offended by these things. But why are you not offended by what has taken more black lives than the Klan, than Nathan Bedford Forrest, or any other of these individuals that everybody's raising all this ruckus about? And that's Margaret Sanger's organization that has become, under the radar, Planned Parenthood, that was created for the fact of euthanizing black folks, starting with black babies.
Well, we've talked about it on this show. And the original name of Planned Parenthood was called the Nigger Project.
Exactly.
And it was designed for the purpose of killing black babies. So any man who cares about himself, his family, his legacy, should be standing up for life. So what do you say to them, John, that say, well, what if a woman is raped? What do you say to that?
Well, the fact of the matter is, there is a whole system and protocol that's there to take care of that poor, unfortunate woman, or that is a victim of rape or of incest. There is a whole system where that person, from the police department to all types of counselors and doctors, they keep that person's identity secret. That's not even the issue. There is a minuscule, absolutely minuscule number of abortions that are done for that purpose. The majority of abortions in America are a matter of choice and convenience, and everybody knows it because the facts are there. They are matters of choice and convenience, and so that's what it is. But don't beat me down because I have the audacity to say that if something has a heartbeat, it must be alive. Because I have the audacity to say that if a human male and a human female get together under God's law of procreation, that must be a human being. Don't get mad at me because I have the audacity to believe what God said to Jeremiah in Jeremiah 1, before I formed thee in the womb, I knew thee. So in essence, what I'm saying is, those are my beliefs. Abortion is legal in United States of America. So it's not like that John Deberry has taken away that right. All John Deberry says is, make a choice, make it right, make it timely, so you're not taking a life. Choose to be responsible. And folks beat me across the head for saying something that I heard my parents say to my sisters, and women have said to their daughters for the entirety of human history. Be responsible, make good choices, and take care of yourself. And I was wrong for saying that.
Well, John, let me ask you this, and I want your firm answer on this. Why do you think the Nigger Project, Planned Parenthood, is giving money to your opponent, putting signs out with Planned Parenthood sponsoring your opponent? Do you think that your opponent was handpicked and chosen to be a facilitator for Planned Parenthood and to make sure that their laws and their interests are taken care of?
All I can tell you is this. They don't send me money, and they fight me like I'm a snake. Why? Because their business. Their business, now think about it. We say pro-life and pro-choice. It's not pro-life and pro-choice. It's pro-life and pro-death. It's pro-death. There are 4 states in the United States of America where a woman can carry a baby full term, and while that baby's sitting there looking at his mama with his thumb in his mouth, his mama can walk out and let it die legally. Legally.
Damn,
so we have to ask ourselves, what in the world are we becoming to where it used to be the safest place in the world for a child was his mother's womb. Now, for 73 million babies, that was the most dangerous place to be. So, my thing is they didn't pick me. They don't fund me. They don't work for me. They're working against me because obviously I'm not good for the business of killing babies.
John, I mean, well, and on that note, John, we're going to take a commercial on that. Man, what you just said is so deep, man. And I've never heard it put that way. And, and it's a strange thing that if a woman is carrying a baby and she's shot and she dies, they charge that individual with 2 counts of murder.
Absolutely.
The murder of the woman and the murder of the child that she's carrying. So if it's murder in one place, isn't it murder in another?
It's a shame that the only time a child can get a child in the womb who has not yet been born can at least get the decency of recognition as a human being is after it's been killed in the womb by an assailant and somebody else, and not by a physician, an abortionist, a genocidist who takes that and snaps that baby in pieces and throws it away like it's human garbage. So we got a whole lot to think about in this country and the direction that we're going if we're going to stay a godly nation.
And if Planned Parenthood is giving you money, they're supporting you because you support murder. We're going to take a station break because I'm into that deep thought of what John has said. And when we come back from the commercial break, we're going to talk about the ouster of John Deberry. And we're going to talk about some of the players in the ouster, including some of the other black legislators. We'll be back after these commercial messages. Don't you dare go anywhere. If you had any doubt about your vote, I know you have no doubt today. I'm going to have Dale edit this and put it up as a piece for John Deberry for those of you who don't understand. We'll be right back.
May I have your attention, please? This public service announcement is for church leaders and all Bible believers. There is currently a candidate running for office that wants to be the first openly gay state legislator elected and says that he has the support of religious leaders in State House District 90. But did this candidate, when he appeared before the Ministers Association and at various churches in the district, reveal that he had sex with both men and women? Did he reveal that he believes in gay marriage? And did he reveal that he's endorsed by child abortion group Planned Parenthood? As a man who openly says that he sleeps with both men and women, he has every right to run for the office. But if he's seeking the support of Bible-believing voters, they have the right to know his unbiblical beliefs. If you are a believer, you can't, in good conscience, vote for Tory Harris for State House Representative District 90. He's anti-Bible, which means that your vote for him is a vote against everything that the Bible teaches. Will you or your pastor sell your soul for a vote? Don't vote for Tory Harris. Vote for what your biblical beliefs have always told you to do. Stand up for God.
I was helping my coworker get her son out of jail, and a friend of mine referred us to Tiger Bonding Company. Neither one of us knew what to do to get the process started. The staff at Tiger Bonding informed us of what was required and professionally guided us through the process. The agents at Tiger Bonding turned a stressful situation into a pleasant experience. I recommend to anybody that needs the service of a bail bond company to call the dependable and reliable Tiger Bonding.
Whether you live in Memphis or anywhere in the country, security is an important feature. And that's the reason, whether it's your home or whether it's your business, you need to entrust your security to a company that can get it done just the way it needs to be done. That's the reason I entrust my home security and my business security to Shoney's Electronic Repair. Your security, your protection, your life, your safety is very important. Let me tell you one of the features that I really enjoy. My cell phone, and before I arrive at my house or even here at the church, I can see completely around the building, and that's important, especially for you ladies on your way home by yourself. You can see who's around your house, in front of your house, and even if there's someone on the inside of your house. I'm telling you, Shoney's Electronic Repair is the company that you need to call right now. They also provide monitoring so that if anyone does break into your home or your business, the police is notified immediately. They also have the video doorbell, so when someone pushes your button and goes ding-a-ling, well, you can see them and you can talk to them anywhere in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, if safety is an issue at your home or your business, pick up that phone right now and call Shoney's Electronic Repairs, area code 901-826-6447. That number one more time for your complete safety is 901-826-6447.
Are you looking to relocate your home or your business? Do you need someone that's professional, affordable, and reliable? Then you need to call Movers and More at 331-0063, 901-331-0063. Movers and More specializes in both commercial and residential relocation. They have 25 years of experience and are open 7 days a week. They also offer free estimate and offer local and long distance moving. Call Movers and More, 901-331-0063, 901-331-0063.
Many of you have not voted early yet, and I'm going to have Dale, I don't know what you can do this at the house. We're going to do that here. The editing of this. One of the things that we're going to try to get done and get it up on all of my pages, and I hope that you will share it on your pages. So I have that state Senator John D on Instagram is saying it's legal genocide. Yeah, that here you have Planned Parenthood or the nigger project have picked out their nigger that they can give money to that will support their interest of killing black babies in Nashville. I mean, in the abortion clinics. But they want him to go to Nashville. So they can say, well, we ain't got enough babies killed. Can you create another law? Well, we can kill some more black babies. But election day, or as you are voting early, you know who to vote for. John Deberry. And remember, You do not have to vote straight Democrat. He will be on the poll as an independent. It'll be an act. But his name, if you live in the district and you come down to district numbers, you've been a Democrat for how many years?
I've been a Democrat since I first voted in 1969.
Okay. And are you still a registered Democrat?
Well, you know what? I'm not sure. All I know is that I have been elected 13 times by a Democratic district with a majority of Democrats in the district as the representative with a D beside my name. In general, because I work on both sides of the aisle, I have Democrats and Republicans who vote faithfully for me. But it was decided that the Democratic, I'm going to give you a quote.
Okay.
The Democratic Party has evolved, and I didn't evolve with it.
Who made that quote?
It was made during my appeal when when it was done in the middle of a pandemic with 48 hours notice, with a bunch of people who never set foot in Memphis in their lives, decided that a 26-year incumbent as a Democrat would no longer or could not anymore. And they did it at a time that was properly timed, that was properly planned, so I couldn't run as a Democrat or a Republican, making sure that I was not on the ballot to run against an opponent.
Okay. So the whole thing is about if your name is not on the ballot, it makes it easy for your opponent to win.
Well, had the legislature, come on, let's be for real. Had the legislature not felt like this was unfair, and some Democrats and Republicans stood up to say this is not fair, and passed as an independent, and the governor signed it. So were it not for that initiative by some of my colleagues, I would not be on the ballot today.
John, let's go back to Jan Lentz and how this started. Who is Jan Lentz?
I have no idea. Never met the person, never had talked to the person, never had called me and said, Representative Deberry, I have some issues against you. Never have sent me any piece of paraphernalia or correspondence to say, if you don't change this, change that, then I'm going to do this. All I know is I get a letter saying that I'm going to have a hearing to determine if I'm going to be removed from the ballot. Now, get this. I'm already qualified as a Democrat. My constituents who were Democrats had already signed my petition. It had already been made official. The ballot had already come out. I was already on it. But because this person made their timely, well-planned ambush, I was removed from the ballot. So I don't know the person, never met the person, never talked to the person, and they strategically had me removed from the ballot.
Now, Jan Lentz, a white attorney, is a part of the organization of your opponent, Tory Harris. She's raised money for him. Is that correct?
Well, that's what I assumed from seeing an email where she made a petition to raise money for him. Yes.
And on my page, I went to her page and screenshot it. A lot of things where she's calling you a Republican. She's supporting Tory Harris. So it would seem as though that she would be a part of his organization. So am I to gather with her, I think it was on my birthday, April 1st, that they went and they ambushed you, not giving you notice of the hearing? Is it fair to say that Tory Harris used one of him to oust you out of the office so that you would not be his competition?
Well, all I know is this: there's no saying if you can't compete, eliminate the competition, and that's what happened. What happened was I was eliminated from the ballot. A 26-year incumbent by some wrinkle in the law, by a tribunal on a Zoom call with 48 hours notice, removed an incumbent legislator sitting in the office, and guess what? With a plaque on the side of his door,
Okay.
but I wasn't a Democrat.
Okay. Okay. So how did the whole process go after you had your 48 hours notice? Were you a part of that meeting?
Yes. After I got my notice, I was told that the vote had been made and I was off. I sent a letter and
Wait a minute, John. Let me stop you there. They voted you out without you being present to have anything to say?
Oh yeah, they voted me out. I could send a letter. So what I did was I wrote a letter, an appeal letter, probably about 6, 7, 8 pages that outlined every one of the so-called charges. They charged that I took money from Republicans. Every black and Democrat legislator in Nashville takes money from Republicans. Who do they think Freddie Smith is and others? They don't send them their money back when they send them campaign donations.
Okay.
It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Yes, they all take money from donors who happen to be Republicans. They take the money. She said that President Trump was in town. Here's a picture of Representative Deberry going to hear Trump. Well, everybody went to see Trump that day. We sit out in the cold out at Andrew Jackson's place waiting on the president to come in. All of us legislators, I sit beside one of my black legislative colleagues.
With black,
and several other of my black Democrats and
okay.
Republicans.
What other, John, wait, I gotta slow you down now. And I know you're a nice guy, and I ain't nice, so just walk with me. What other black legislators were there?
Yes, absolutely.
Who?
Johnny Shaw was there.
Oh, he black.
Yeah, he was there. And there were several others. I don't remember all.
Black state representatives. Are they saying that you were not supposed to be there with all the other state people to meet the president?
Yeah, the president of the United States coming. Legislators, buses were provided. We all loaded the bus, went and heard the president, got back on the buses, and came back to Capitol Hill. That's the long and short of it. They created something called Democrats for the Boss. I don't know what in the world that is. In other words, it was a complaint filled with half-truths and outright lies. And then I was given 24 hours to respond by letter, which I did. And then once they voted me right out. Then I was given a chance to appeal on a phone call. They muted my phone.
They did what, John?
They muted my phone.
So nobody could hear you?
Nobody could hear me.
So
we were sending texts, we were calling, we were sending letters. I had 5 or 6 people texting them and saying, open up Representative Deberry's phone. Because they said, once I sent my letter in, I was under the impression that they would read my letter to the whole body. And so they said, well, do you want to speak? You want to speak? I said, I want my letter. And then assuming that once they read my letter, they were going to ask questions. But they muted my phone and didn't even read the letter.
So, John, who was over this meeting?
The chair of the Democratic Party, Ms. Mancini.
Mancini. So, do you think it was Mancini's role to make sure that you were ousted as a Democrat?
All I know is if you you are going to be fair, then you give people a fair trial, a fair day in court. You don't have a kangaroo court that rushes the judgment without hearing all the evidence. And for anybody to say, anybody that heard that process, without me being able to speak, that heard that process would have said the same thing. This is not fair. This is not just, and this most certainly is not democratic.
So you're ousted. What happens then, John? Now that you're ousted, it's a lynching. It's a modern day lynching. Whites and blacks. How many blacks voted against you?
Well, I think two. Of course, I couldn't see them. I wouldn't even know who I was talking to. All I heard was their voices.
What voices?
I assumed by at least one person saying that how appalled they were with me as a Democrat, and they looked like me. So I knew.
Who, John? Who was it?
I don't know.
John, see, you trying to be nice guy. John, see, it's too late to be nice. What role? Okay, well, let me just ask you the question then.
Yeah.
Was Touche a part of that meeting?
No, it was a Democratic executive.
So Touche was on the meeting where they were trying to make sure that you didn't be able to run as an independent, right?
Well, everybody was they were on the floor when I was voted, whether or not there would be, I would have the right to run as an independent.
And quit being nice, John. Damn, see, you, Pastor, I know you ain't like me. You ain't the cussing pastor. But damn, being nice, John. Them Negroes didn't care about you.
Well,
Why are you trying to save their name? Because I done already put their names out here.
Well, all I know is this. I will send you the official list. The bottom line is that there were several of my colleagues that either left the floor or didn't vote in my favor.
All right, well, let me do it. Let me do it, John. Let me do it for you. Karen Campbell walked out. Am I right? Come on, John.
I'm on your show, Pastor.
I know you are. Did Karen Campbell walk out of the room?
Well, there were several people who.
John, me and you, John, you trying to spare their feelings. I don't give a damn about their feelings. And you and I done already talked. John, you told me that Karen walked out of the room. Did Karen walk out of the room?
There were several folks that left the room.
John, see, I called her this morning because I wanted to know why you walk out the room. And she tells me she didn't walk out the room. She white lighted. What's a white light?
That means your president don't vote.
Well, damn, that's voting against you. That ain't voting for you. See, I told them what they were this morning. I told them they were hypocrites. If I'm not for you and I turn on the white light, I'm president, but I ain't voting. She voted against you.
Well, the thing is, we have allowed a few people who have ill will and have contempt for the black community, for District 9, for Shelby County, for Memphis, Tennessee. We have allowed them to control the debate, control the vote, control the politics, and that just has to stop. For a group of people who never set foot in Memphis to be able to vote out, and the thing is, here's the thing. They said that the people in District 90 didn't have enough information. Even though they've elected me 13 times, they didn't have enough sense to elect a representative. They would have to do it for them.
But John, it irks my spirit for other black folk that smile in your face to sit there and let this happen to you and don't make no noise out of it. See, and I'm going back to Karen. And I've heard of a conversation that Karen and Touche had with you this morning. You know I hear everything, don't you?
Well, I didn't know you heard that.
I heard that one. Well, Touche was trying to back down from the statement that's on the paper that has been sent out that is anti-John. John, I hope that when I grow up, I hope that I can be as nice as you. I do. But right now, I will kick them in their ass. John, those black touche don't mean you no damn good. Now he's trying to back down from it. That it was taken out of context. But it's used on mail-outs that are going to folks' houses right now that's telling folk that what you did was wrong. And see, the Black Caucus does not represent black folk if they only are caucus in the House, but the same black folk ain't out here telling black folk that my brother is being misused. White folk using my brother, or white folk done got us in such a position that we are not bold enough to stand up and talk for our brother. They cowards and they hypocrites. And you know I don't care if they get mad. But I know you trying to protect them. They said that they're your friends and all that, but they trying to save their ass. They ain't trying to save yours. If they were trying to save you, some of that could have been blocked. Some of them could have went to Mancini in April. Woo! They better be glad. Because I'd be worse than John Fogle.
I believe that.
But it's a shame. All right, John.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know, the thing is, you have to look at this thing factually. And if you have a respected Democrat who just happens to be white, who votes the same way I did, and who is also conservative because of his district and many things, moderate, because we throw these terms around, but basically people have basic views on several social issues. But that person is not ousted, ostracized, criticized in public, stuff mail out, sent out on him. How can I not think that there is some bias going on there when I see that type of behavior?
Well, John, let me tell you something. See, I got a copy. John, I'm pretty good at what I do. Wait a minute. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to put that person in. Okay, John, hold on a minute. I hit the wrong something. Hold on a minute. I got a copy of a text message. Where is it at? State Representative, I didn't mean to call you. To do what I was doing. Because let me call John back.
Yes, sir.
We got disconnected. I was trying to, I'm going to see if I can still do it. I got a copy of a text message this morning. Where is it? Right here. That someone sent the state representative Barbara Cooper. And I know of a conversation that you and Karen Camper, y'all did a three-way call this morning, right? Yeah, John. I don't say nothing I don't know. Okay,
I'm trying to figure out you knew.
John. That's my business to know. Okay,
Well, and they talk with me.
John. That's the reason I'm the best.
Yeah, I heard you.
Okay,
I don't want to get on your bad side.
John. But someone sent a text message from Touche Parkinson to state to Barbara Couple. And Touche says, let me be emphatically clear. I have absolutely nothing to do with this piece or any other piece that has come out against John. Representative Camper brought this to my attention, and the fact that there is a quote from me in the upper corner. The quote came from when McDaniel was punishing Shelby County for removing the Confederate statues from Memphis. Then Touche says, this is some bullshit. Now, I'm in reference to the copy that has went out as a mail out. This copy, like the sign that I believe that Tory Harris had done. It was done by Ms. Lentz, who gives marching orders. It also has you and Trump on there. Then it has privatization and all of that, vouchers and all of that on there. Why do you think that fellow state legislator Black Touche Parkinson's quote would be on this particular document that is sure enough anti-John Deberry?
Well, as you said, and you knew about a call that I did not inform you of, so I don't know who did inform you of it. He denied knowing anything about it or giving permission for it to happen. My thing is this. If there is somebody using my image, my picture on a mail out without my permission, using his quotes without his permission, using the president's image without his permission, somebody needs to be investigated for trying to subvert elections in the Black community and send out false, misleading, and fraudulent information. And somebody needs to be found out, and somebody probably needs to be prosecuted for it.
Well, you know what I was waiting to see, knowing Touche, knowing he's in marketing, and especially when I saw this about vouchers and money being taken from the school system, and knowing that his company, his marketing company, to my understanding, has a contract with charter schools that get some of this money. I became alarmed because I thought when I turned the news on this afternoon, I would see State Representative Touche Parkinson on TV denouncing any part of it. Because if I'm not a part of something and it becomes a public ordeal, and especially if it's going against somebody I call my brother, then man, I'm going to be raising all kinds of hell. I didn't see it. And it's just like I told Karen this morning, when you white light, when you're present and you can vote for a man and you don't vote for him, you white light, you did the same thing. You're anti-John Deberry. Now I know, your phone gonna ring tonight. But I know what I said. I mean exactly what I said. John, there are people who seem to be organizing after all of the struggle that black folk have went through, not just for voting, but for everything that we've done in our community. It seems to be people who are trying to desensitize and kill the movement. You went back to the education, and I know you're true. I graduated from school the first year of busing in Memphis in the 70s. And I was at Manassas High School, one of the elite schools.
That's right.
I was bused from Manassas High School to Fraser High School. Do you know that when we got we're the same school system? Do you know that when we got from Manassas High School to Fraser High School, maybe about 5-6 miles away, they had courses, they had books that we didn't have in the black school. We didn't have them at Manassas. And I began to wonder, because I led the first walkout in the school system that year. I'm waiting for us going to school with white folk. How come the black folk ain't fighting for us having the same education, having the same books, having the same courses as white folk are doing? John, you've been out there fighting.
Yes.
And here to see this young wannabe come along, and he comes along with these other folk that don't, man, they don't know Martin Luther King did. We got to tell them. And they come in acting as though they can do something for District 90 and have no record of service in the city. I think that it is a disjustice to what all of us are doing.
Well, what we've got to do is we've got to go these days, we've got to do an introspective examination of ourselves, because we were the epitome of independent thinking, hard-working, work ethic people. Our great-grandparents and grandparents put on those white uniforms, green uniforms, blue uniforms, that went to college, did better, and changed the whole community. That's what they did. You and I both know that. So now we got to look at it. What seems to be the agenda now? It seems to be the agenda is to miseducate, fail to educate our young people who are getting further and further behind. We've lost an entire generation of advancement because while we sit around school choice, we've been arguing failing schools, we've been arguing curriculums now for the 26 years I've been in office.
Okay.
How many children have been lost in the 26 years while we sit around arguing over stuff because we're too afraid to make a decision?
So, John, what do we do? What do we do?
Well, one of the things that people are going to have to do is open their eyes, because the truth is fighting the truth. What's the truth? We got more kids going to jail than we have going to college. What's the truth? We find males, that's black and white males are failing to go to school at the number as black and white females, and black females are outnumbering everybody going to college. What's the truth? Black homes are falling apart. Black fathers, for a large segment of the demographic, are absent from their children. The truth. While we push Planned Parenthood because we're pushing immorality, impropriety, and a lack of self-maturity and discipline. So if we're going to tell everybody to go out there, hang loose, if it feels good, do it, it's your thing, do what you want to do. If we're going to tell them that, then you got to have something to do with the baby. So they got the solution. Kill it. And and everybody, Republicans, Democrats, black and white, can't talk out of both sides of their mouth. If we're going to say have the baby, then we got to put together a structure that takes care of the baby, and then many times the baby that had the baby.
Okay.
A structure that educates them both, takes care of them both, and helps them both break the cycle of poverty. And that's what we to start talking about again in America.
John, when you win, what's the next move? What's your next objective in the House?
My objective, that is to pull together a group of people, blacks, whites, Republicans, Democrats, rich, poor, from all segments of our district, and for us to get together and for the upward movement, mobility, and prosperity of District 9. People sit down at the table, stop talking at each other, and start talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we got some smart people in District 90 and the city of Memphis. We got some good people in office also. What we got to do is the people who care have got to start acting like it and having the guts to make the tough decisions, say the tough things, and that's one of the things I hope to pull together with your help and others in the media, in the school system, in the churches, the faith community. We need to get together and stop talking out of both sides of our mouth and just call a spade and say, we're going to fix this once and for all.
Let's clarify one last area, John, because I think that you've been very precise on the issues. The posters that were up at the various sites with Donald Trump and your picture, they were trying to say, Tory Harris's people were trying to say that you put those pictures out there, which would have been totally dumb on your part, but
and suicidal.
And suicidal. What do you really have to say about that?
I have to say, when you think about this, it must be awfully frightening to pick a fight you can't win.
Ooh.
And that's where a lot of folks find themselves when they don't sit down, as the Bible says, and I'm sure you quoted it, count the cost.
Yes.
And when you find yourself in that position, especially if you are surrounded by people who don't have scruples, who don't have integrity, and who are not going to follow the rules, then they're going to come up with some misleading, fraudulent, untruthful way of maligning the other candidate. That was a video sent out. I'm a black man. My father marched with Dr. King, and I was there when he made his last. My slaves, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So for a descendant of slaves to have been educated because his parents, his grandparents, and his great cycle, if it was Reagan, if it was Bush, if it was Clinton, if it was Obama, if the most powerful man on the planet Earth invites you to be part of a discussion, why would I say, no, man, you ain't no Democrat, and anyway, so I don't like you. I was invited to an education conference because I am known nationally for working on education issues, along with a room full of other black people and white people from around the country. I was recognized because of that work. That was used against me, saying I shouldn't have been there. So the leader of the free world, whether you like him or not, invites the descendants of slaves to sit at the table with the most powerful man on earth, and I'm supposed to say no? I mean, come on, be for real. And that's what we see happening when people are in La La Land and not facing facts.
Well, John, you said what you said tonight. You said it well. And anybody that does not give you the District 90 in this district, you're the only person that has the heart for the job. And see, I mean, this ain't something you got to do. Okay? You got your own business that you could probably make more money at if you were at home instead of in Nashville.
Right.
But you got a heart for the people of the district. You live in the district. You taking care of the people in the district. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes, whatever you need, for you as we close out with you, for you to urge the people to vote for you. Your flow, preacher.
Well, what I would like for people to do is make a comparison. And you know, it's not whether or not you like me or hate me or like or hate the other candidate. It is make a comparison in the time we live in where the Democrats are a supermajority, where we are in the middle of a pandemic, where we have all kinds of social issues, problems all over the nation. We have poverty issues, economic issues. Who do you want to be in Nashville? Someone that can call the governor and he answers the phone. Call the most powerful business people in the state of years. That's why when people they call my office and they know I answer the phone and I get it done for them over and over. I would ask people of District 90 to just look at truths, not all that garbage that's being out there. And if you look at me and the opponent, whether you like us or hate us, look at the facts. I think that you will decide that you need to have a seasoned politician in Nashville. Folks don't look for the dentist with the least experience, the surgeon with the least experience. You look at those that have the most experience. We better, in these trying times, you better do the same thing with your representatives.
Ladies and gentlemen, State Representative John Deberry has been my guest. So then you don't know what you're talking about. You just got on stage. So he represents the people. And he's got Tory Harris. He ain't it. He's not even close to being it. He does not have the experience. And he can't. The governor ain't going to take no call from no Tory Harris. I can hear the secretary saying, Tory Harris for you, governor. Tory who? Where he from? He from Memphis. Oh, tell the little boy, when he grow up, I'll get back to him. He ain't ready for the big league. And what we're doing right now in this country is big league politics. We don't need the neophytes there. We don't need the folk that don't have the knowledge to be able to in the House and the Senate. And every House bill has to have how many Republicans? That Touche, Larry Miller,
You got to have every Democrat. You got to have every Democrat.
Informs our community of what's really going on. John Deberry, I'm gonna let you go, man. I know your phone's gonna start ringing. I've been for it too. And I'll give you a call when I come off the air tonight.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. I guess that's been John Deberry. I think that was a good interview. See how professional I can be there.
I'm proud.
Oh, let me hang up with John. See, I didn't curse nine times. Did I curse?
Not that I heard.
Huh?
Not that.
In your ass. Now they trying to figure out how I knew about the three-way conversation that they had this morning. John's a nice guy. And yeah, he's a pastor in the Church of Christ. And me and him from different schools, because I wouldn't have gave a damn. I've talked about all of them, call all of them names. But John's a nice guy. But that's what I do. Why are you looking like you're hurting? Look like you got a doo-doo.
Oh gosh, go read a show.
You just over there grimacing and stuff. You okay though? Seriously, it's hot. Do you need to turn the air on? Don't fall out for the show's over. I don't know how to cut this stuff off.
I just showed you how to cut it out.
Oh, that's all you have to do? Well, I'm gonna be tough when I learned how to cut it on. All right, let's get ready to take a commercial message. Woo, I got Karen calling now. Woo. I'm going to keep this up tonight. It's on for 24 hours. Dale's just going to be absent. Well, Dale's going to be here for the beginning of my show on tomorrow. Dale's going to drive her own car.
Help Women's Support Group
Dale's going to drive her own car.
covers all types of topics and subject matters, created to help you straighten your crown and promote your prayers and plans. To take what we've learned from our elders and pass it on to the next generation. To love without limits, honest, encouraging, loving practices. Shirts are available for fundraising. The TV show airs Wednesdays at 4 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on all of the Cuss and Pastor platforms. Honest, encouraging, loving practices. Sweet Flame Candles by Brittany. www.sweetflame-candles.myshopify.com. Sweet Flame candles are hand poured and packaged. They have 60 hours burn time. We have new fall fragrances and tantalizing long-lasting scents such as banana nut bread, peppermint, cinnamon roll, butterscotch, caramel popcorn, and blackberry. You even get to choose your own container. And wax melts are available. Buy a candle. Sweet Flames is black owned by Brittany Matthews. October special, buy 2, get 1 free. Call 615-573-6657. 615-573-6657.
The letter D can stand for Democrat, and it's great if that's your political affiliation. But D also stands for dumb. It's dumb to vote for someone just because they have D beside their name when there is no record of service or they don't stand for your moral belief. It's dumb to vote for a person with a D beside their name who will not seek help from those who have an R by their name when the R can help the D bring progress to the people. It's dumb to vote for Tory Harris, who schemed to use one of his workers to get a known and proven Democrat off the ballot who has been fighting for the people of the district for over 26 years. Don't be dumb, be smart, and vote for John Deberry, who has a proven record of service, who because of his service has been elected 13 consecutive times. The Deberry name is a name you know and trust. Vote independent. Vote I, not D, for State Representative District 90. You can vote straight D if you like, but when it comes to District 90, vote I for John Deberry. Paid for by the committee to elect John Deberry State Representative District 90.
Bubble bars. Order online or on Facebook. If you love bubble baths like I do, then you should have a bubble bar in the tub with you. Bubble bars are handmade and packaged with love. They're moisturizing and make lots of bubbles. Bars are $5 a piece or $20 for a bundle. We even have special orders available. Bubble bars 440-0335.
I'm back. Dell's show will be on tomorrow. It comes on at 2:00. Dell, you better set it up.
It does not. They come on 4.
They come on 4. You think you'll be back from the heart?
I pray.
What time is our appointment?
At 2.
Okay. AM 1600 WMQM, or if you're not in the Memphis area, you just do. What you talking about tomorrow, Dell?
Abstinence.
What's that? Being absent?
Restraining.
From what?
Different stuff.
That mean no sex?
No sex.
I ain't never been abstinence. What's the word?
Abstinent.
Abstinence. What is it?
Abstinent.
Abstinent.
Yes.
I ain't never been abstinent.
Why
I ain't
not?
never wanted to be abstinent.
Why not? It's good for
I never
you.
want. What is it good for?
It's good for your mental state. Your
Not to have no
mind.
sex.
Mhm.
Is it? All right. So when you go abstinent, I'm gonna get the word right.
I see.
That mean masturbation too.
Yes. I mean, it depends on what you're doing for
Okay.
you.
So you can't masturbate. And
It
do
depends on the
abstinent?
person and what they're doing for themselves. Because it depends on the reason.
Oh. Okay.
Because you might just need some mental clarity. It may be for religious reasons. It may be for medical reasons. So,
Okay.
and it may not just be sex. It may be from liquor. It may be from bad attitudes or allowing people to mistreat you.
I don't have a bad attitude, so I don't have to worry about being abstinent from a bad attitude. I think I have a good attitude. I don't have a bad attitude until people provoke me to have a bad attitude. I don't just walk around. All right, Deb, do I just walk around with a bad attitude?
No, you don't. You don't just walk around with it. But
Nah.
you grab that motherfucker out the plain air, though.
But when I grab the bad attitude out the air, don't I have a reason?
Hell, it don't always be me, though.
I ain't just talking about you, but don't I normally have I have a reason
Okay.
to be
But
abstinent?
yes.
I mean, to have the bad attitude.
Yeah, be abstinent too. You have a reason to be having
Right
bad
now, I
attitude.
am abstinent. What's the word?
Abstinent.
I'm gonna get me some now. She want to do something. What does that women be doing when they abstinent? I keep fucking up that damn word.
Wait a minute. What do they do when they're abstinent?
You know, you stay hyper and stuff.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I'm hyper.
You ADHD, so it don't really matter.
Huh?
You ADHD, so it's not.
I'm ADHD.
Yes, sir.
I don't like being abstinent either.
Why not?
Mm-mm. Yeah. Abstinent. I was reading earlier today in one of them groups. A woman said she hadn't had none in 5 years, and she felt good.
Mm-hmm.
She don't know. See, she don't know what feeling good means. Fuck you. You feel good and you ain't had no sex in 5 years.
I have a friend. She said that she hadn't had it in 3.5 years, but she about over that bullshit now, though.
Yeah. Don't when you be abstinent, you don't want no dick at all. Dick don't come across your mind. I ain't talking to you because you probably ain't abstinent.
Who is Nate?
What's the word? There ain't no word that I won't be trying to get from me.
No, I'm like,
No
you
that way.
just, like I ain't even got to say that because I don't even need that in my vocabulary. But you will think about it, but you then redirect yourself.
To what?
Reading, writing, doing something else.
I don't want to read that, man. I've been reading I've been reading 63 years. What the fuck I want to read now? Huh? Ain't no shit new I want to read.
And some people do it not intentionally. Mm-hmm.
No, I've been thinking about it. I need to get me a therapist.
Oh, I have one coming next week.
Because you think she could therapy me?
I think she could therapy. She regular. You like her.
Yeah. I can tell my problems
Mm-hmm.
too. Like, okay. She charge much?
She doesn't charge much, and she take cash payments.
Do she?
Mm-hmm. So you ain't got to worry
So
about
I can sit down
worry about
and
the
talk.
insurance stuff.
I can service.
Mm-hmm.
And
Y'all can
just,
FaceTime. Y'all can do whatever.
yeah.
Mhm.
And do I lay on the couch
You can.
and she just talked to me?
Mhm.
She sat there and told me, what's the kind of person do a therapist ask you?
Just regular questions,
Like what?
because she got to see what's going on with you. She's licensed. She'll lose
So
a
if she
license.
told, if
She'll lose a license. She don't want none of that. She
I got
wants
some
to-
secrets that,
Don't nobody need to know.
yeah, but I got some secrets that they may be worth more if they lose their license. Shit, I can get paid for that. Okay. Mm-mm. Woo. Somebody says, I understand not having sex, but not masturbation. No, I can't sleep at night without at least that. Is that a man or a woman? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Have I did my show recently on masturbation? Is it a sin or anything to that?
Not recently.
Okay. I might do that Friday night. All right. How did y'all enjoy my conversation with the senator? It was a very informative. But John was so deep on that abortion thing. Damn. I got folks texting me. Y'all can call me and give me your thoughts. Area code 901-231-9239. Yeah, it's very informative. You know, I'm wondering how many babies are aborted a week. And then for women to use it as birth control. You know, it's just horrible. But I did not know, and I'm going to have to find out what states. 7,000. Okay, someone says that there are about 7,000 babies aborted nationwide a week. 7,000 potential doctors, lawyers, nurses, mamas, grandfathers, preachers. About 1,000 babies a day are aborted. And do we live in a society that says that that's okay? A woman got a choice. What about a choice of birth control? What about a choice of a condom? What about a choice of just not doing it? What about those? When we condone abortion, are we saying that it's okay? He gave me that item 101 before you was formed, before you was shaped in your mama's belly. God says, I knew thee. You had a personality. You were a person. When you left out of your daddy's dick into your mama's pussy, you were life. Not a fully developed life. Because the development was taking place on the inside. The growth was growing on the inside. But when John made that comparison of a child, that you can abort a child at 9 months, the child Sudden that the child can hear the conversations that's going on, but the child has become accustomed. Would you say that the baby on the inside of the womb knows his mama's voice?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
So here is your child on the inside of your womb. Then this child starts hearing a conversation. He laying on the inside, sleep, waiting for his opportunity to be born. Then he hears his mama on the phone at the clinic. I want to avoid the baby on the inside of your jumps. What did she just say? I want to abort this baby. Mommy! 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 Mommy, don't kill me! Mommy! 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 Don't kill me, Mommy. I'm gonna be somebody great one day, Mommy. Give me, Mommy, give me a chance. Mommy, give me. Oh, Mommy, why do you want to kill me? I've been in here for 9 months. In this bed. I've been in this bed for 9 months. I'm ready to come out and see the world. Mommy, why you don't kill me? Well, I'm gonna be good. Don't kill me, Mommy. Don't, please, no. Don't kill me. You get up, put your clothes on, head to the clinic. Baby still crying out to you on the inside. Mommy, 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 Mommy. Somebody save me. Somebody save me from my mommy. Save me from my mommy. My mommy gonna kill me. Mommy. Mommy. Hey, look. Ain't nothing I can do. And there is on the inside. Baby starts praying. God, don't let my mommy do this to me. God, stop my mommy. I don't want to be no abortion. Mom, God, talk to my mommy. God trying to talk to the mommy. Mommy won't listen to God. I'm going to kill this baby. I ain't going to destroy my life. Ain't going to stop me from ain't no baby going to stop me from having no good time. Mommy, I won't stop you from having no good time. I'll keep myself. Just put me in a corner somewhere, Mommy. Don't kill me. Put a pacifier in my mouth. Put some milk in my mouth. Mommy, don't kill me. Don't kill me. You walk into the abortion clinic. You get it on the table. That baby is alive. That soul is alive on the inside. I mean, Mommy, we can go. We ain't gotta stay here, Mommy. Mommy, I don't wanna die. I don't wanna die, Mommy. Doctor walks in. You ready? Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to leave here. Tells the woman, open up her legs. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Then they get that thing. They take the triceps, that big fork. They stick it up in that hole. Your baby on the inside, because they know the doctor trying to catch his head. Don't do it, doctor. Please, doctor. No! Doctor, no! Doctor, no! Doctor grabs him by his head. Mommy, Mommy. And he begins to squeeze it harder and harder. Mommy, why, Mommy? Why, Mommy? I won't hurt you forever, Mommy. And he crushes. You hear the bones breaking in the skull. He pulls out what he can pull out. Throw it in the waste can. Then take that vacuum cleaner and suck up the rest. That's what Tory Harris believes in. That's the reason he has become a part of the nigger project. If you don't believe what John said about the nigger project and what I've been saying, just look it up. Look at how Margaret Sanger destroyed black lives. And these very same folk will get in line for Black Lives Matter meeting. Damn. If you live in District 9, you have no choice. After hearing tonight's program, you have no choice but to vote for John Deberry. Tory and his people, they're monitoring my program. That's good. You can go after my pages all you want. You can't shut them down, brother. Damn sure can't shut down this TV show. But why are you shutting it down? Why you want to block the program? Tory, you still got time to be on my show. I spoke to Tory this morning at the precinct. He didn't know who I was. I don't think do you think he knew who I was?
No.
I wasn't in the big purple truck. I was in the caddy. I had a hat on. And I pulled, he started waving. Then I guess my voice gave me away. Dominic Poe, I don't know who you are. Man. I'll ask you fair questions. But you don't want the questions, man, because you're a coward. You're not prepared for this. Or you'll interview with people that'll soft on you. But they won't ask you the right questions or the hard questions. And you don't want to answer the hard questions. You want the softball questions. So that says what type of politician that you're going to be. You're already scary. You're already scared to be questioned. And anybody that's running for office got to know that you're going to be questioned. All right. Well, that's my time for the night. I'm tired. It's 8:55. That means it's time to go. I hope that you've enjoyed the program and you've enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed having it here with you. And that you will turn me on in the morning at 6 a.m. on AM 1600 WMQM, the ultimate music experience. If you can't reach the frequency because maybe you live out of town or somewhere around the country, then all you got to do is go to the TuneIn app. The TuneIn app. Go to the TuneIn app and put in WMQM, and it will pop up for you in the morning. Central Time is 8:56 Central Time now. So if it's 7:56 your time, figure it out. Okay? All right. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of the program. And I'll do this all over on tomorrow. 12 noon is noonday with, not 12 noon, 1 p.m. I don't know why I keep saying 1 p.m. is my time. Until then, top of the evening to you.